2012 it rose by about 60%. The automotive sector is the most innovative, contributes to 1/3 of the R&D expenditure. Germany accounts for 60% of all R&D growth in the automotive sector in Europe. 51% of the automotive industry turnover were generated from new product innovation. I think it's an interesting point which one should note. Innovation is the way ahead. There are some internationally renowned institutes like the Max Planck, Gesellschaft, Fraunhofer, and Helmholtz. There are about 21 research areas which are covered under broad categories of environment and energy, health and safety, interdisciplinary technologies, communication and mobility, and future and society. 23,000, it's also very important that we register the patents because someone mentioned earlier in the day, registering is very, very important. There are 23,000 patents which were registered at the European Patent Office, third after the US and Japan. Germany is also the world leader again in auto sector with about 10 patents per day registered, which is an average of 3,650 per annum. Around half of these patents are related to environment-friendly technologies. We were talking about Euro 4 in India where they are already ahead in Euro 6 and we are 10 years behind. And there was a report in the TV which talks about why the CO2 emissions need to come down. Even if the industry is ready, I think there's a lot of going between the fuel which is India. The other pillar of success I would say is the trade fairs because that is where the world converges in Germany to showcase their innovation and technology. 2/3 of the top shows are held in Germany. This is home to 6 of the 10 big trade fair companies which are over 100 million euro. There are famous trade fairs like the recently held Hanover Fair, the IAA Automotive Show, EMO, to name a few. And the trade fair industry creates about 226,000 full-time jobs. What is the future? In Germany, the latest is the Industry 4.0. It is a term which is coined to reflect the fourth industrial revolution. It is nothing but integrating ICT with the machines, machines which will talk to each other. You will have more automation than ever. Why Germany? Because Germany has been continued to be the most competitive and innovative manufacturing industry sectors. They have a technological leadership in industrial production, research and development. And India with its IT prowess has a great chance of integrating into this program. Finally, I would like to say that the chamber network that we have in Germany is one of the strongest pillars and it integrates the industry. There are about 80 IHKs, which is the local chambers, having about 3.6 million member companies. And if you look at the international chamber network under which we come, we are present in about 88 countries with about 125 offices. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, come on, let's give him a big round of applause. But the stakes above it being set.
bonsoir. It's a pleasure being here in this wonderful visionary conference. And as a part of the Indo-French Chamber, we are glad to have partnered with this event. And we hope that you have had very interesting sessions so far. I'm going to quickly run through on how the Indo-French Chamber is functioning, and then later on take you to how an Indo-French Chamber can help you develop your business in France. Quick run through, it's a very young chamber in India, 1977, and our core activities are on membership, we do events, we have business support services which I'll dwell on later during the later part of my presentation. We also have an employment service where we help students who speak French, we help companies who want to look at developing business in France, recruit French-speaking or people with bicultural knowledge. And of course there's advocacy, which is a part of the chambers, any chamber of commerce. These are some of our members. We work in close partnership with the French consulate. We have the representative, the Consul General, Mr. Philippe Janvier-Camien, who is here, with other chambers of commerce, with the other French regions, and also with Business France, which is the trade mission. We have organized about 90 events in India, and these are the co-events that we have organized. We have some pictures of the events that we have done. These are the communication material wherein we help promote our members and their activities and also give information on the latest news. So, why France? France is certainly the heart of the European market, it's a gateway to Europe, and it is a country open to investments. I'm not going to give you more information on France that you might already know. And of course, there are quite a lot of similarities between France and India. Earlier, when I started working, about 15 years back in Coimbatore, and when I was helping French companies and I was starting up the Alliance Française, many companies were already in touch with the European market, with French companies already, and the status of that time was, French people speak only French, and it's very difficult to communicate. But things have changed over 15 years now when I look back, and when I look at the people with whom we meet now, there are a lot of people, so communication barrier is no more a reason now. And we also have other similarities, and apart from food, wine and cheese, France is also a leader in technology, in innovation and in renewable energy, in which French companies are looking to partner with Indian companies. And how we support Indian companies and French companies as a bilateral chamber. We help Indian companies who want to develop in France, and also French companies who would like to develop their business in India. So France towards India, these are the various activities that we have done. We have participated in business days. We have taken accompanied a lot of French companies who want to come to India. And from India, again, we have taken companies who want to participate in fairs. We accompany those companies. And if you want to develop your business in France, there might be many of you who have already been working with France, you have clients in France, you have partners, you have already invested in France, maybe. So for those who start their first step, and for those who are already into the market, so these are the few ways how we can help you. So for those who want to think France as a potential market, because indeed it is a great gateway to the European market, and how we help you, for example, if you have a product that you want to test to see if your product will be valid at the European market, we can help you do a primary research, we can do tests at the market, we can help you validate, we can also help you identify suitable clients there. When you go to France, you want to do a prospective mission, we can help organize meetings. If you want to participate in a trade fair, for example, we could help you certainly participate. We could be a representative of your company to France in that trade fair. And, in addition, if you want to do any, once you find a partner, and then you want to identify if the partner is valid, if the person is credible. We do organize, we can help you identify the right partner, we can do due diligence, all the support we can do. So it is more of a hand-holding. And if a company wants to invest in France, for example, and before investing in infrastructure and offices, you could always take the incubation centers that are there. We are very proud to represent two clusters from France in India, the IT systematic cluster and an aerospace cluster. We have those representative services as well, which we do here and which we do in France. For companies, as I had said, to sum up, we can help you evaluate the market, we can help you develop your business, and we can also help you with other affiliated services. We are with my colleague from Business France, who will also help you if you're interested in investing in France. And of course, if you have any problem when you're traveling in France with your visa, you can catch the gentleman there during the networking. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you have a wonderful exhibition. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause please.
I was merely wondering why organizers have called us in this global push towards manufacturing and innovation. Till I heard people say Jugaad and first time right. To do all of that correctly, you need to back it up with a certain amount of quality. And Coimbatore happens to be probably the largest cluster that works with metals in India. Therefore, we said that as Oxford Instruments would come and discuss a little bit about the utility of optical emission spectrometers and a selection of optical emission spectrometers for the metal industry. For those of you who are not associated with metal industry, a spark spectrometer is used for either very accurate analysis of elements present in alloys or for semi-quantitative analysis. Analysis time is typically somewhere between 20 to 40 seconds, thus allowing very quick analysis, and allows the manufacturer to meet the specification of elemental chemistry. This therefore avoids rejection, remelting of samples, out-of-spec alloys, associated transportation costs, electricity costs, labor charges, and increases productivity. However, for first-time users, there is a big advantage of using optical emission spectrometers because it majorly reduces production cost. A typical example is given here for a medium-sized industry that produces about 10,000 tons of stainless steel. Let's say the grade is SS316. Without an optical emission spectrometer, you would probably maintain 10.3% nickel and 2.3% moly. But using a fairly decent optical emission spectrometer, we can make the same product with a final spec of nickel at about 10.15% and moly at 2.10%. This really translates into a profit or a savings anywhere between 15 to 25 lakhs an annum for this kind of an industry based only on these two elements. Applications of optical emission is all through the metal industry, either for accurate analysis or for positive material identification, to avoid pre-dispatch mix-up or to check incoming material. To help the organizers, I'm going to skip a few slides so that we meet on time, your time schedule. You have either an accurate stationary or laboratory spectrometer where the sample needs to be brought to the laboratory, or you have a mobile or a portable spectrometer where you take this, where the spectrometer goes into your yard. Basically, the idea of using a spectrometer or the principle of working is every element will give out light at specific wavelengths. So if we can energize a sample and pick up the light and distinguish at which wavelength this light is, we we can say that that particular element is present in that sample or not. If we are able to correlate the intensity of that light to the concentration of that element in that sample, we can say so much percentage or so much ppm of that element is present in the sample. A spark emission spectrometer does both of it, and therefore it consists, every spark emission spectrometer, whether manufactured by Oxford or by any other company, has the same submodules. It has a sample stand, it has a sample that is placed onto that stand to give this energy to the sample in terms of heat energy. You have a source and ignition circuit. The light that comes out from this sample needs to be dispersed into its individual wavelengths, and therefore you have a basic spectrometer which comprises of an entrance slit, a grating, and let's say detectors which could be PMDs or CCDs. The entire function of this is controlled through a readout system. It controls the source, the timing parameters, as well as the conversion of that light into a function that you and I understand as voltage. And subsequently, there's an external computer with software where you and I understand and get a reading in terms of percentage, so I know so much of this element is present in the sample. So basically, the most important portion of the spectrometer is the optical system. Typically, the optical system will give you three parameters. The first parameter is resolution of the spectrometer, or its ability to distinguish